I have been shamed, guilted, and otherwise harangued into returning to my goal setting series here on the personal channel. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, consider hitting the subscribe button because I do philosophy stuff, movie review stuff, and goal setting type stuff here on this channel. And if you really want to help me out, if you appreciate what I do here, hitting the like button tells YouTube to share this video with other YouTubers. So let's get into things. My goals for August, I know they're a little bit late. I know today is August 5th, but for me, it's still the 4th. So it's only kind of late. For me, it's still, that's a real thing, by the way. For me, that it's still the 4th. That is one of the ways that you protect your sanity when you find yourself being so lucky as to be the overnight guy someplace. I had a coworker one time who he was kind of struggling with the overnight shift, but he was doing all right. He had found several perks for himself in that life setting. It's harder to waste money. It is harder to make stupid decisions when you work over. So there's one very stupid decision you can make, and that is losing even more sleep than you otherwise will. But it's harder to make stupid decisions as far as like fast food, things like that. You really have to whip yourself into some type of discipline to work the overnights. And he was doing okay until one night we had found ourselves in conversation. And I said, it's kind of weird. You have to think of these things in terms of your day, not the day. And he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, for us, we wake up on the 4th, we go to work on the 4th, we get off on the 5th, and then we go to sleep and wake up and go to work, and it's still the 5th, right? That's how it works. You work overnights, you work past midnight, you work through midnight, I guess I should say. And he after that, he started being a little less on time. His eyes became more and more red. Uh, a lot of people, when they work overnight, get kind of the shakes because your central nervous system is not 100%. And he got a little bit worse on that. And I was like, hey, man, you know what's going on? He said, it's really messing with me. I said, what? What you said, what I said? Yeah. We get off work and go back to work on the same day. Just realizing it was enough to throw him for an absolute loop. Just realizing it, having never thought of it, I guess, that way before, destroyed him. And he ended up, like a month later, was no longer working there. So if you want to destroy someone that works overnights, that's how. I don't know why I went into that story, but it's funny to me. Here we go. August goals. We'll start with fitness. I want to complete 240 miles this month. Now, 2 years ago, just 2 years ago, I had for the first time completed 300 miles in a 3-month summer, June, July, August. I had never done 100 miles in a month before. I had certainly never done 100 miles in 3 consecutive months. And it seemed at that time like an accomplishment to me. In June this year, I did 200 miles in a month for the first time. I believe it was like 202, something like that. In July, I finished with over 230 miles, 232, I believe. And here, in the month of August, I want to set a new record for myself. I want to do 240 miles, 200 as a minimum there. That's why 200 is in parentheses. It's been tough sledding so far. I do not have a gym membership, and it has been raining in Kansas City for like 3.5 weeks straight. It's been awful. So even today, I finished my 10 miles. That's why I'm I might be so sweaty that you cannot see the difference in color on my sweatshirt, but I smell too. Just awful. Terrible. I finished my 10 miles and it was sprinkling sporadically all the while. Not raining, but I don't know how much rain we've gotten so far this month, so it's going to be difficult. But I have, what is it so far? On Tuesday, I walked 15 miles with some running intermittently. Wednesday 10, Thursday 10, Friday 10. So I'm off to a decent start towards that goal. We'll see how it goes. Now, what I do is every mile that I walk, I stop afterwards and I mix some lifts in at the gym. I do sit-ups, push-ups, jumping jacks, dips, overhand rows, underhand rows, and occasionally pull-ups. I am working back in to doing pull-ups. So what I started this sort of summer cycle doing was sets of 10 on all of these lifts. So I would do my first mile, and the sit-ups and jumping jacks are new additions, so they are relatively lower count. But I would do a mile, and then they have a low bar that you can do overhand rows and underhand rows on. I would do my mile, do 10 overhand rows, 10 underhand rows, do a mile, do 10 dips, and 10 push-ups. And I have slowly increased those lifts as I have gone, so that now each set of sit-ups is 15. Each set of jumping jacks, overhand rows, and dips are 25. Underhand rows are 20 because it's real. Those are hard on me. And the push-ups are 40. So I do 2 lifts at the conclusion of each mile on a 10-mile day. I do 3 lifts at the conclusion of each mile on a 6-mile day. Most of my days are either 6 or 10 miles, with the noted exception of my Saturdays, but the schedule says Sunday when I walk with my mother. And half the time I have to carry her because she just complains all the while. So there's that. So that is where these lifts come into play here. 700 sit-ups, 2,000 push-ups, 1,500 jumping jacks, 1,500 dips, 100 pull-ups, 1,500 overhand rows, and 1,200 underhand rows. All of these, all the way up to 240 miles, all of these would be personal records if I were to accomplish them this month. It also leaves very few exceptions for days off of lifts. And if I'm going to hit 240 miles, almost zero time for days that I don't walk. Now, I have walked or run at least a mile every day for 130 days, I think. So 130 days consecutive on that. But the part that makes it hard with the lifts is if it's rainy, it's extremely muddy over there in that area of the park. So it makes it difficult to get onto the equipment and do those things. So moving on to reading, if I can shove my slow reading butt through 300 pages this month, it will make for all of the videos that I have to do on Stripped Cover Lit. Stripped Cover Lit will be at around 150 days consecutive with a video by the end of this month. Or no, it should be by the 27th of this month. It'll be 150 days straight. I want to go straight through my birthday, so that'll be a little bit over 150 straight days. I believe in the 160s, so there's that. 300 pages should not be difficult, but it is something. I'm a slow reader, and trying to digest the literature in the way that I do in order to manufacture videos for it makes it extremely sort of time consuming. So pair that with all of the miles and we'll see just what takes place this month. Moving on to this channel, the gray here is for this channel. I want to upload 4 videos to this channel this month. I want to get back into the habit of uploading to this channel. I'm not sure exactly what those videos are going to be. I am hoping to do a September goals this month. so that I am doing it on time, which is early before the month. And next month, I should get into an extensive video on my yearly goals. So if I need to set them still. But we will see how that goes. And 3,000 words, I want to get into a lot more of the narrative building type stuff here. I want to get into a lot more of the video essay type videos. I want to get into a lot more in-depth discussions and really have things thought out, as opposed to what I've done a lot this year, which is sharing other people's quotes, which I think those are videos that are useful to me, and they're videos that are useful to me when other people make them. So I do not believe that they are entirely without merit, but I do want to stand on my own accord on this channel. As far as Strip Cover Lit is concerned, I want to make 31 videos this month. That is a video every day. I am doing well so far. I am either 8 or 10 videos ahead, which for going on 150 days, and to be 10 videos ahead, 8 to 10 videos ahead on that mission, I'm okay with that. I think I've done fairly well in that regard, but I want 2 of them to be novel reviews. I have not done a novel review in quite some time, and I have not done a novel review at all under the format that I want to do them going forward. So this is going to be difficult, and I need to set some time aside. It's going to be difficult to set some time aside to do that when I am uploading so many videos to the channel otherwise, and am trying to keep that cadence of video creation so that I don't fall off the wagon and end up being a bum again. So what I need to do, so Fairy Tale and No Longer Human are the 2 novels that I need to end up making, for which I need to end up making a review this month. So I'm going to have to do it in bit and piece fashion. I'm going to have to sit down and really sort of force myself into 30 minutes of work each day on those, as opposed to trying to grab them by the horns and put a sword in their flank, right? Also, I do want to get into more video essay type stuff on Stripped Cover Lit as well, which I have started this month doing a podcast type video where I sans Adrian present, right? Only in audio format. And it is called The Weekly Reader, and it was interesting to do. I have not done that format before for that channel, and I want to keep doing that because I do think that there is some perks to recording it simply in audio format and having what it is a big question that will fuel the episode, and then a literary excerpt and a poem reading. And I am considering other segments to put in, so if you have desires or ideas for what I could put in there, let me know in the comments section, but I'm looking forward to doing that going forward. Now let's go to the financial goals that I have for this month. Number 1 is to finish under budget, obviously. That is the number 1 goal that I think everyone should have for their monies in a month. But number 2, I want to make 2 investments. I have set aside some money. I budget some money. So I budget money every month to put into stocks. I have not been investing that money in stocks because I am kind of under the impression that the market is in a bit of a bubble. I think that is the case, and the stocks that I want to put that money into, namely Tesla, are currently sort of tempering down. So I think that soon I should be able to pull the trigger on that. But also, I budget some money every time I finish under budget during the month. I put some of that towards investments. Every time that I withdraw the proceeds from the channels that I run, I put some of that towards investments, golly. And with that money, the money that is skimmed off of the top of other forms of money, not my budget money, but my channel money and my under budget money, I want to put those towards dividend paying stocks as opposed to growth stocks, so that I do have both of those vehicles sort of under watch and under investment as often as possible. I also want to add one ticker to the watch list as far as the stocks that I watch are concerned. It is interesting. Let me see. I don't know exactly how many stocks I have right now, but it's a big number that I'm sort of trying to keep track of. Where are we at here? How many tickers do I have? 128 stocks that I am currently watching and keeping track of in some form, fashion, facet, or manner. So adding one more to that, I need to figure out what sort of I want to attack this with strategy. So I want to figure out, do I need to keep another growth stock that I want to look at? Do I need to keep another dividend stock? Do I want to look at? Do I want to sort of branch out and look at a couple more REITs? What is it that I want to do there? So uh, just one. And finally, writing goals on the month. I want to write creatively, 3,500 words. It's not a whole lot, but I want to at least get 2 poems and a short story out of it. I have largely abandoned my writing in the wake of finishing a novel a couple months ago that I was writing. And also, I probably need to put on here, let's see, type 10 pages of that novel, because I have to get that started. But I have largely abandoned my creative writing as I have ramped up the production that I am doing in other places. I have a couple other creative sort of tasks underway that uh, I want to keep to myself. And the walking, the running, the exercise in general, I think I'm losing some weight, so we will see how that goes. But this is it. These are the goals that I have for the month of August. It sort of becomes, uh, this is simpler than they had been. This is sort of toned down from what they were, because I don't really ask questions at this point in my day. Um, I wake up, I go to work, and after work, 2 days a week, I do my reading. But yeah, it's basically falls into 2 days a week. The other days are largely comprised of the walking. So those 2 days, Sunday and Monday, my Sunday and Monday, I get 6 miles, my lifts, and 2 hours a day each of those days, reading, note taking, highlighting, things like that. And the other days of the week, I hit 10 miles on the track. And normally those days end up being the days where I shoot poetry videos and the odds and ends sort of stuff. So if I could squeeze a little bit more productivity out of each day, I could really pour gasoline on some of this stuff and um, hopefully accelerate some of it. But that is it. Those are the goals that I have for August. I would love to hear your goals in the comments section, and I hope to see you back next week with another video.